Tell me what's my future being selfish.
Hey, tell 'em what's up, all my soul G's. That's right. You don't stumbled your little happy ass up in this Matrix News Network, Matrix Shit News Network. And today, that's right, we're gonna get her done. Yes, I did a Matrix News Network yesterday, and it was pretty good, but I had to go take care of some business, so I had to cut it off earlier. And I wasn't gonna do another one, but today I woke up and I seen these crazy ass fucking stories. And I was like, bruh, I gotta do another Matrix Shit News Network. With that being said, let me go ahead and screen share right quick. This shit getting crazy. Y'all seen the episode? Y'all seen the one I just dropped before this one? Y'all seen the one I just dropped before this one? Cause I'm gonna do it like that. And with that being said, this is gonna relate to that in a little bit, but it's mostly about crazy shit. So it's just obvious. Where I'm at. There I go. Oh, then I left again somehow. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. Man, what the fuck going on? They weren't doing this shit the other day. Tripping. Yeah, I'm sick of this shit already, bro. I ain't even gonna flex. Ain't even gonna flex. Ain't even gonna flex. Let me stop screen sharing. Stop share. Try to do this one more time. Screen share. Okay, there we go. Now, okay, there we go. We good. All right, we in business. I got it set up. We good. Okay, the first story I'm seeing right here on my timeline, my headlines is this is what really initially made me want to do the podcast. I mean, this episode of the news stream. That's right, and it's real strange. 5 dead, 40 injured after SUV hits Wisconsin Christmas parade. First of all, Wisconsin, this is no, I'm not trying to make fun of the situation. Why the fuck y'all having a Christmas parade before Thanksgiving? That's weird as fuck. Winter is still a month away. Anyway, let's dive into this story. Let's see who's gonna go. Let's go to Reuters first, since they saying that's who Google wants us to trust. SUV plows through afternoon Christmas parade. Oh, they got a video. Okay, let's see what the video is talking about. They're like, nah, don't read. Just listen to our little commentator guy break it down for you. All right, what is sound at? It's on mute.
Chose our new Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because it gives us unlimited 2% cash back on everything we buy.
And it has no preset spending limit. So our
God
purchasing
damn,
power
y'all
adapts
added
to
up
our
on
business
Reuters.
needs. We use our 2%
Shit.
cash back to help cover our employees' healthcare costs.
That's how we take care of our most
Matter of
valuable
fact, I
asset.
am gonna mute this shit until they get done with this stupid ass video. All right, let's go. Let's see what they're gonna say. What the fuck? Who, bro? You know why this is like okay? I'm gonna see if they're gonna actually comment on it, commentate on it or whatever. This is strange to me. Okay, this is what me turning my conspiracy, what they call conspiracy mind off or whatever they want to call it, conspiracy theories. Without no conspiracy theory, they're presented right here. First of all, parades. I don't know about y'all, but all parades I've been to, they be having hella police. Y'all see how many police cars came through there after the guy came through there? That's strange. That's strange because of the fact that they didn't stop him. They let this like I'm not saying they let it happen. I'm not saying the police let it happen. But that's strange that like 12 police cars come afterwards, right? Now I don't know the full story, so let me try to scroll down. But the fact that all those police cars came afterwards and they didn't stop it from happening, and the fact that you know with the recent shit with the Travis Scott concert and shit, the fact that you see this truck just plow people, and I'm not like I said, I haven't read the article yet, so I don't know the full story. I'm just speculating a little bit right now, but I'm gonna read it. But I just gotta say this off rip. I already know. Travis Scott shit. They talking about shut down the concert, people dying. A nigga just drove through this fucking parade with kids and grandmas and all that shit. Y'all don't know if it's just him alone. Y'all don't know what the fuck going on. These people in the parade still marching. They march. We marching. A nigga just drove a big ass SUV through a crowd of probably hundreds of people, bruh. That's strange. Let's not ignore that either. Okay. 5 people were killed, more than 40 injured. Including young children. That one person was in custody and a vehicle had been recovered after the incident in the town of around 72,000 people, 20 miles of Milwaukee. 20 miles west of Milwaukee. Police said the number of dead and injured could change. Okay, obviously. That's good reporting, I guess. Thompson said it is not clear whether the incident was terrorist in nature, but there was no further damage and police had lifted an order urging people to shelter. A video posted online showed a red sport utility vehicle driving at speed alongside and into the parade, appearing to run over more than a dozen people before the crowds ran from sidewalks to offer assistance. Thompson said an officer fired shots at the vehicle in an attempt to stop the carnage. Another video on social media appeared to show police firing on the vehicle as it crashed through the street barriers. Police did not believe shots had been fired from the vehicle, Thompson added. I heard and saw them. This one I'm at right here. I heard and saw people being hit, but you could do more than seeing. But what you could do more than seeing is hearing. And just that sound was insane. She choked up as she described coming across a small boy in the road. Okay, the trauma. I want to know who the fuck did this shit. Okay, in 2000. Okay, this is what they said at the end of the article. Maybe I'm just reading too fast or I'm skimming over, obviously, but they not saying who did this shit. So you telling me the person who did it just crashed the fucking vehicle and then took off on foot or something? This is what they said. Let's see. In 2015, 4 people were killed and 46 injured in Stillwater, Oklahoma, when a woman drove into a crowd watching the homecoming parade for a football team. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so that's that story. And I will go to another source. Yeah, I wanna know if they're gonna actually figure out who did this shit. I wanna say I wanna figure out who they gonna say did it. A person taken into custody after a SUV. See, why the fuck Reuters didn't even say none of this stuff? Reuters didn't say. Am I tripping? Reuters didn't say none of this. The first sentence on Yahoo News. A person taken into custody after a SUV plowed into a holiday parade in Wisconsin, killing at least 5 people, has been identified as 39-year-old Daryl Brooks. Police haven't identified the person of interest they are holding, but two law enforcement officials briefed on the matter provided identification to the Associated Press. They spoke on conditions of anonymity, because they were not authorized to discuss the matter publicly. Online court records show a person named Daryl Brooks with a birthday making him 39 has two open criminal cases in Milwaukee court. In one case filed on November 5th, he is charged with resisting or obstructing an officer, reckless homicide, disorderly conduct, bail jumping, and battery. Records show $500 bond was posted on November the 19th. In the other case filed July 2020, Brooks is charged with reckless endangering and illegal possession of firearm. Interesting. See, this is interesting. How these stories go back to back to back, and all this crazy shit going on. The joy scene of marching bands and children. Okay, we got the energy. They said it's a nigga named Daryl Brooks. They really don't know though. Obviously, it seemed like they don't really know. It just seemed like they just fishing for. I mean, not fishing, but they still searching for the information they saw. They say the Associated Press got it, but I don't see Associated Press up here. Okay, I covered a little smash and grab shit the other day. What I wanted to look at today also was okay, first of all, over here, they did the verdict shit with the Kyle Rittenhouse shit. They said he was innocent, blah 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 blah. some reason they talking about For some reason they talking about Kyle Rittenhouse says he's not a racist. Black Lives Matter backs Black Lives Matter and Fox News appearance. Now this is true. If this is true, because this is from USA Today. USA Today. If this is true. I want to see videos of him saying that shit. Or did he say that in court or what? Oh yeah. The shootings the shootings quickly made Rittenhouse a rallying cry for supporters of Second Amendment rights and those angered by the sometimes violent protests seen in the American cities after Floyd's death. Rittenhouse was photographed in a bar before the trial with apparent members of the far-right Proud Boys. Far-right, just, bruh. Far-right don't mean shit, really. Far-right, far-left, that's bullshit, bro. Let's be real. That's bullshit. These people, most of the time, have similar agendas. They just want to go about it with a different level of aggression. Proud Boys. Rittenhouse's attorney have said he is not a white supremacist. Obviously, he killed 2 white people. Okay. I'm not a racist person. Quote unquote. Quote. I'm not a racist person. I support the BLM movement. I support peacefully demonstrating. Rittenhouse tells Carlson in excerpts of the interview released by Fox News ahead of the airing. Okay. Okay. That's what they were saying. He said that in court. He said he's not a racist, he's not a white supremacist. He support BLM and all that shit, you know. But um, you already know the internet is crazy because the internet already knows mostly. A lot of people on the internet do support BLM. A lot of people don't, even in the black community. They understand. They see it from a point of view as if it's a control opposition, basically. So a lot of people nowadays say they're not white supremacists and shit like that. You might not be like they might not be the white supremacists because they don't have the money to be. But the system is definitely based off of like white supremacy. So if you want to be successful, even as a white or a black person or Mexican, you're gonna have to do shit that the white culture at that point in time, whatever they fantasizing about, what they want to manifest, you're gonna have to do what they want you to do. Let's check out this over here. Fuck, they talking about Fox News and shit. Australia back in lockdown despite protests. Despite the protests. That's a contradiction. A lot of the times these governments use the protests as excuses for lockdowns. So it's not about COVID. They can stop that. People they already got the excuse of people being mad enough to go fucking protest and shit. And then when they start protesting, they already can send in their agents and they can do the riot and shit, and then everybody there will be accused of it, and then that'll make other people in the society upset or angered, and then they show up, and then it's getting closer and closer to some like street war type shit. It's like gangs versus each other and shit. But I'm gonna check out some on some a lighter note. Let's see what they talking about over here. I seen Canna Moms parenting with cannabis. Let's see what BBC talking about today. Canna Moms. At first I thought that shit said cardamoms. I was like, what the cardamoms? The herb, or is used as a herb sometimes. Okay, this is what we're doing. A couple years after California legalized cannabis for adult use in 2016, Danielle Simon Brand decided to try it. A journalist in the U.S. Pacific Northwest, Brand, now 42, found cannabis left her feeling better and more embodified, happier in the body and mind. Looking at legal cannabis as a well-used tool, she quickly liked. Man, I'm sorry. I was getting distracted. I got my phone buzzing and shit. That shit is annoying. My bad. Brand, now 42, found cannabis left her feeling better and more embodified, happier in the body and the mind. Looking at legal cannabis as a wellness tool, she quickly liked how using the substance herself bettered her ability to parent her two children, now 8 and 11. It's just funny because it's like we've been doing shit like this, talking about parenting with cannabis and parenting with drugs and shit. First of all, the opioid crisis, people been parenting with drugs. Parents been geeked up. Cannabis helps me in certain transitional moments, she says. I can more easily set aside my workday to-do list along with whatever challenges and frustrations I've experienced that day, and get into the kind of headspace where I can patiently help with homework or make dinner with my daughter. Brand, the author of Weed Mom, the cannabis curious. Okay, I see what this is. This is advertisement type shit. Like, I fuck with her. She's promoting some real, shit. But at the end of the day, I see what this is, bro. The big misconception is we just smoke to get blazing high. That's some real shit too. A lot of people assume that people just smoke to get high, but really sometimes, just like cigarette smokers, bro. Like sometimes people just smoke to fucking take a little breather break type shit, or sometimes people just smoke to release something. Different reasons, different environments, different situations. That's right. That's right. All right, I'm done with this, bro. I see what that is. It's a little advertisement. I fought with Ken Moms. Okay. Explainer. Why did judge drop Rittenhouse gun charge? They don't need to explain that. Turns out Harvard students aren't that smart after all. What the fuck? What the fuck they mean by that? What do they mean by that? I'm curious. I don't know anything as to what this subject is about. I never made a podcast talking about what colleges really are. A whopping 43% of white students weren't admitted on merit. One might call it affirmative action for the rich and privileged. Ever wondered what it takes to get into Harvard? Stellar grades, impressive extracurriculars, and based on a recently published study, having deep pockets and a parent who either works or went there. Those last two are pretty important for Harvard's white students because only about 57% of them were admitted to the school based on merit. 57%. That's a big percent. That's a good percent. It's a private school, you get what I'm saying? So they could do what the fuck they want to do, but at the same time, it is good to know stuff like this because people put so much praise and they put a lot of attention towards people in the workplace and in the economy overall towards people who go to these Ivy League schools like Harvard and all Stanford and all this other shit. So 57% of these motherfuckers, only 57% of the white people who go to Harvard. Well, I don't know why they focusing on white people, honestly, but I feel like that's overall, bro. Because it's not just white people, bro. It's like many races that are involved inside of these Ivy League schools. Many races, many cultures, many doctrines. You know, in reality, 43% of Harvard's white students are either recruited athletes, legacy students, or, on the dean's list, on a dean's interest list, meaning their parents have donated to the school. Or children of faculty and staff. Students admitted based on these criteria are referred to as ALDCs. Dun-dun-dun. Which stands for athletes, legacies, dean's interest list, and children of Harvard employees. The kicker: roughly 3/4 of these applicants would have been rejected if not for having rich or Harvard connected parents or being an athlete. Now they focusing on the Ivy League schools. They trying to put all the focus on these fucking Ivy League schools and colleges and shit, but that applies to all colleges, really. That applies to all major colleges like state colleges and major state technical colleges and all that shit. It's not just Ivy League schools. The Ivy League schools are definitely a part of it. They probably started the recipe, and everybody else tried to follow along, maybe in a more in a less private way. But roughly 3/4 of these applicants would have been rejected if not for having rich or Harvard connected parents or being an athlete. That's true. To this day, that's for all colleges. So, let's just be real. Here's the thing. Harvard is insanely competitive. The admittance rate for the class of 2025 was 3.4%. 1.43%, the lowest rate in the school's history, in a year that saw an unprecedented surge in applications. But as more and more comes to light about Harvard's admission process, it's clear that the school's competitiveness is not just based on academic strength or great test scores, but also whether or not your parents or grandparents have donated significantly to the school. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that that applies for most colleges, and Ivy League colleges are definitely like the top of the list, like as far like the pyramid of doing this shit. So I'm not even gonna read it because we already know that shit, bro. Julius Jones. Now I wanted to I'm gonna talk about this right quick. I went into like a little deep dive one night when I was like up raging. When I say raging, I just mean not going to fucking sleep. Um, I did a little deep dive on this Julius Jones shit, and I seen it from both, a conservative point of view and a liberal point of view and the center point of view, which is the mainstream media, basically. And with that being said, I still don't have a conclusion on it. Like, based off of the evidence, I don't think this nigga should be killed. And I overall, you already know where I come from. I don't support the prison system, the jail system. I don't think that's real rehabilitation. I don't think that's real rehab. I don't think our tax dollars should be going towards that. I don't think jobs that people outside of prison could have should be given to prison inmates and shit like that for slave dollars, basically. I don't think that people should be profiting off of the prison system at all. So, I mean, that's just from my point of view and my heart. And I know we can make an actual better rehabilitation system. I know we can make an actual justice system, but we already know we don't have that today. And with that being said, the Julie like they keep showing these court cases and shit, and that's where I'm so confused why people aren't really seeing this shit. Like they keep showing these different court cases about people getting like put in prison for a long ass time and they ain't do shit, and then over time, the conservatives are like, no, bro, they did this shit. These people are scums and shit. And then the other people are like, no, bro, these people ain't do shit. The court system just be rigging shit. And it's just so weird to me because, like, we don't understand that if that's like both people are wrong, basically. Like, it's just a fucking justice system. We gotta make a new justice system. If you are conservative, you actually want justice, then you gotta make a new justice system. If you're liberal and you want people to stop being put in prisons and jails for no reason, we gotta make a better justice system if we're gonna stick with that theme. Uh, okay. With that being said, Julius Jones was scheduled to be executed at 4 p.m. Thursday at Oklahoma State Penitentiary in McAlester, Oklahoma. Governor in McAlester, Oklahoma. Wait, in McAlester. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt, however, announced at noon Thursday he has commuted Jones' sentence to life without the possibility of parole. Jones, now 41, has been on death row for more than half of his life for the murder of Paul Howard. That's crazy because, if I go show y'all some videos of these conservative people that I show you, they making it seem like the media has basically freed this nigga. Like they freed him. No, they just stopped this man from being fucking executed. That's it. This man is 41 years old and he still has, he still has been commuted, sentenced life in prison without the possibility of parole. And y'all, these people are still trying to make it seem like somehow, we are influencing these judges and these people who are committed to what they call justice in the current way that it is put out there, you know. And, there's no checks and balances in this fucking society, really. They just lie inside of these different roles like the justice system and the government and technology and pharmaceuticals and education. The Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board voted 3-1 on November to recommend Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt grant clemency to Jones and reduce his life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole. Okay, that's what they did. We know that's what they did. You know, that's what they granted him his, like, he can stay alive, he can still be in the prison cell, you know, because he killed somebody. And you know, with that being said, we don't know whether or not it was self-defense or not, because we don't have videos and that like that. We just have eyewitnesses, you know. And with that being said, hey, I guess we're supposed to celebrate. Parents protesting critical race theory identify a new target, mental health programs. Identify new target, mental health programs. I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna click on it for a little while. NBC be fucking tripping. NBC, you be tripping, bro. This Matrix shit. At a September school board meeting in Southlake, Texas, a parent named Tara Edens strolled to the lectern during the public comment period and demanded to know why Carroll Independent School District was paying counselors at $90,000 a pop to give students lessons on suicide prevention. You are actually advertising suicide, Eden said, arguing that many parents in affluent suburban school systems have hired tutors because the district's counselors are too focused on mental health instead of helping students prepare for college. That's interesting. At Carroll ISD, you are actually advertising. Oh yeah. Some of these kids, they're just trying to get through the day, she said. Get through compacted math. Get through algebra. That's right. Go to Cottontail on Sunday. Okay, I can't even lie. Cotillion? I don't know what the fuck that is. Let's see what that is. That's weird. What the fuck is a cotillion? Let's see. A ballroom dance for couples. I don't know. I had a feeling it was something like that. I had a feeling. Okay. Edison said they're not thinking about these issues. 2 days after Edens made the remarks, Southlake Families PAC, a group that has fought to stop a diversity plan at Carroll, sent an email to supporters calling on the school district to leave mental health and parenting to parents. Okay. So, I don't have opinions on this shit. Let's see what this video talking about. I want to see how NBC gonna break this shit down. The Matrix. That's right. They on this advertisement shit. These people are fucking bought off 100%. They can't even show you a video clip without showing you a fucking advertisement. And it's supposed to be news, right? No, this is the fucking Matrix.
Theory in schools are taking on a new foe. Parent groups are now fighting against suicide prevention programs, mental health coordinators, and social emotional learning.
Wait, you see the NLP? Wait, I can't do it, bro.
Programs, mental health coordinators on a new foe. Parent groups are now fighting against suicide prevention programs, mental health coordinators, and social emotional learning. They say they're being used to indoctrinate their kids and ask them invasive questions about their feelings, sexuality, and race. NBC News reporter Tyler Kincaid joins us now. So, Tyler, we saw really how important education and critical race theory was in this month's Virginia gubernatorial race. What's going on now?
Well, a lot of these activist groups are increasingly taking aim at programs designed to address student mental health. In one district in Indiana, for example, activists are demanding that the schools fire their mental health coordinator, calling it a, quote, dangerous job. In Virginia, which you mentioned, parent activists have latched on to surveys the schools use. And these surveys ask kids questions like, do you feel welcome at school? Do you have a trusted adult you can talk to? And some of these surveys also ask students whether they identify as LGBTQ. And that's because schools want to know whether those students in particular are being bullied. But then activists have looked at these surveys and said, this is data mining, and they say the questions are inappropriate for a child to answer.
So, Tyler, some of the parents accuse.
Okay, so now I formulate an opinion on this bully matrix shit. Okay, that's right. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna say that this is some bullshit. Both sides are bullshit, because the real problem once again goes back to like these traditional values, not like of people but of the education system. Why do we have an education system the same way we do? Because of the workplace and the economy, and people feel like they gotta have a purpose beyond just living a natural life. And you know, with that being said, it makes parents not be able to even be there to parent their child, meaning what they saying, like we'll do the talking to our child about if they're gay or not, and we'll ask them these questions about if they're getting bullied and shit. And the reason why that's true, they should be doing that in my opinion. But it's bullshit at the same time. Not everybody, not every situation, not every person, but it's bullshit, those people who are trying to like break this down, because these people 9 times out of 10, if they're not dedicated parents, then you bullshit, because you're not actually there to spend time with your kid to even, you can ask them these questions, but they might not even tell you the truth, because you might not even have that relationship with them. And I'm not saying they should go to school and like the school should be like testing them on their mental health and shit like that. But at the same time, I mean, that's basically what the fuck has been reduced to. If you look at the suicide rates and shit like that, especially based off of these addictions and all this shit, based off of people's parents not being at home. And these same conservative parents or these same liberal parents that are sitting right here fighting this little stupid ass fake war, talking about critical race theory, they both are fucking wrong. Like, if the liberals should listen to the conservative parents, if they saying, please don't ask my kids these questions. I know the suicide rate is off the roof, and I know I barely spend time with my fucking kids, but my fucking ego and my mind don't feel consciously correct with you asking my child these questions. You should be teaching them like how to prepare for college, how to be, you know, civilians, how to be a Smith, basically, how to be a fucking Smith in the Matrix. That's what you're supposed to be teaching them, how to preparing them to do that. And you're not doing that shit. You're supposed to be teaching them how to fucking abandon their kids and do nothing but work all the time. You feel me? That's what you're supposed to be teaching them. You're not supposed to be teaching them to fucking ask themselves, are they fucking feeling okay? Are they being bullied? Or are they like sexual preference and shit like that? Like, you're not supposed to be asking them that, because there is an agenda behind certain things, dealing with certain things like that. You get what I'm saying? In the Matrix. You get what I'm saying? But with that being said, at the same time, like, there are actual mental health questions and actual ways to heal mental health without testing people that doing that shit in school. And that is weird that people are doing that. So like I said, bro, both sides are bullshit. I'm gonna move on to another story because that's stupid. Okay. Do one more. I'm gonna do one more story, then I gotta do something else. 33 subtly sexist things women deal with that go unnoticed. Okay, Biden says House burned with my wife in it, adding to a long list of embellished stories. What? Oh, that's some Fox News shit. Never mind. Fox News be, making fun of Joe Biden and shit. Because that's definitely news, making fun of Joe Biden, you know. Biden says, okay, yeah, I just read that. Oh yeah, let's see what they talking about right here. They said, for Arbery's family and friends, time of anguish activism. Let's see what they talking about. I don't even wait. Sometimes New York Times don't be letting people view their full article because of they want a subscription in the Matrix. Yep, that's basically what's going on. So yeah, just basically make everybody pay for news. No problem. Subscribe to your news, New York media, New York Times, Matrix. Americans should get boosters ahead of possibly dangerous winter spike. Fauci says. Okay, I need a good story, bro. Y'all bullshitting. One more good story. Poland says Belarus border crisis may be per Southwest Asia, Atlanta. Barracuda celebrates Project Q. Barracuda celebrates 12th anniversary in Atlanta. Will Atlanta voters prefer Lone Ranger or Swell Guy for mayor? The fuck are they talking about out for the top? Okay, now we're in the business. I found something. They talking about. Let's see what they talking about. CNBC. See. Okay. Jerome Powell, who got it. Oh, my bad. Let's see this video first. That's what I was supposed to do. Do the video first. Then I'm gonna read the little stupid ass Matrix script. Oh, gotta have a little advertisement in there.
Corn is shorter.
I can't lie. I'd rather have an advertisement and have the free article than a New York Times subscription shit. But at the same time, fuck that shit.
President Biden is nominating Jerome Powell to a second term as chairman of the Federal Reserve. In addition, Biden is also naming Lael Brainerd to serve in the number 2 position as vice chair. Now, the White House credited decisive action by Powell and the central bank in the midst of the pandemic as critical to the economy's rapid recovery. In a statement, President Biden said, "I have full confidence after their trial by fire over the last 20 months that Chair Powell and Dr. Brainerd will provide the strong leadership our country needs." Now, the White House also pointed to their joint focus on inclusive growth, financial stability, and climate change, and said that the administration has full confidence in their experience, judgment, and integrity. And both Powell and Brainerd will need to be confirmed by the Senate. Already, at least 3 Democrats have come out against Powell, Senators Elizabeth Warren, Sheldon Whitehouse, and Jeff Merkley. But remember, Powell is a Republican and will likely draw bipartisan support. There are also three vacant seats on the Board of Governors. Notably, Brainerd was not named as vice chair of supervision. The White House said it would announce those nominations starting early next month and is committed to improving diversity at the board. But for the chairman of the Fed, the White House is opting for continuity, signaling it is satisfied with the economy's progress so far, naming Jay Powell to a second term leading the central bank and handing the vice chair position to Lael Brainerd. Guys, back to you.
Elon, obviously big news, and we're going to talk about the market reaction all day long. We are expecting to hear from the president tomorrow to talk about inflation. Might we expect some further color on this decision then?
You know, one thing that this administration has struggled to confront is how to talk about and how to message these rising prices. They are trying to show that they are concerned
I'm
about
confused, bro.
inflation. They are trying
I
to
can't
show
lie.
that
This
they are
shit about to
working
get
to
me
bring
into a
prices
whole
down, but
podcast
also
topic.
trying to say that a lot of this is
I'm
out of their hands.
confused, bro. Let me see something right quick. I didn't. What they talking about? A central bank? They talking about? Are they talking about the Federal Reserve? They got to be talking about the Federal Reserve. Okay, let me see. Central Bank. America. Let's see. Federal Reserve. Okay. Now I did not know. Like, this is just me of ignorance, basically. I guess that the president, decided who was the chair of the Federal Reserve. Let me see. How to become chairman of the Federal Reserve. The chair serves a 4-year term after being nominated by the President of the United States and confirmed by the United States Senate. The office holder serves concurrently as member of the Board of Governors. I'm learning something. I'm learning something here, bitch. That's what's up. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, list of Federal Reserve Chairman. (1935) organization. Reorganization. Duties of head and chair, conflict and interest. No member. Oh shit. Come on, Matrix. That's right. Okay. Appointment process. Conflict of law. The law applicable to the chair and all other members of the board in part. No member of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System shall be an officer or director of any bank, banking institution, trust company, or Federal Reserve Bank, or hold stock in any bank, banking institution, or trust company, and before entering upon his or her duties as a member of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, he shall certify under oath that he has complied with this requirement, and such certification shall be filed with the Secretary of the Board. The Chair of the Federal Reserve is a level 1 position of the executive schedule, meaning the salary prescribed for that level is $221,400 as of January 2021. What the fuck? This shit rocking me to sleep, bro. I can't even read this shit. These motherfuckers so fucking dusty. Alright. So we've had 16 chairs of the Federal Reserve. Jerome Powell is the 16th one. And it seems as though, do these people have limits? Janet Yellen was elected by Barack Obama. Jerome Powell was elected by Donald Trump. George Bush elected Ben Bernanke. And somehow, it's weird that Jerome Powell is being reelected by Donald Trump. I mean, I know they got Janet Yellen inside of the cabinet and shit like that. So But it's just weird that they would choose the same person that Donald Trump chose, but they supposedly are different. And I mean, I guess they giving up on that Matrix idea of them being different. They just want a totalitarian government. They don't give a fuck about the different wings and shit. Ben Bernanke, yeah. So that's that. Just like look at this shit. This nigga Alan Greenspan was born in 1926. It's 2021. This nigga is almost 100 years old, my bro. Almost 100 years old. Okay. Ben Bernanke, born 1953. He was young as fuck when he got into the office, I guess. Alan Greenspan was in the chairman of the fucking Federal Reserve for 18 years. That's crazy. Janet Yellen was in there for 4 years. Jerome Powell has been in there for 3 years and 290 days. And with that being said, let's go back to this stupid ass article so I can end this shit out. That's right.
And of course, as we know here at CNBC, a lot of the trajectory of inflation will depend on the actions of the Federal Reserve. So I wouldn't be surprised if that comes up during that speech tomorrow, but we will have to wait and see.
That's our Elon Moy in Washington. Elon, thank you very much. Jim, does the market like policy continuity?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, there's no doubt about it that Chairman Powell is directly related to how well the market's done. People think he's done a very solid job. I'll tell you, it's also a vote for the idea that it is transitory, that inflation is not here to stay. Now, Jay Powell has been adamant that we're going to get all of these port issues, congestion solved. He's also been adamant, by the way, oil. Have you noticed oil, David, doesn't go up and up?
Yeah, I did notice it stopped going up a bit.
Right. So, I mean, everything's. Yeah, I heard we had a report earlier about Thanksgiving being up 14%. Well, the average wage of the workers going up. The taxes aren't so bad for workers. So I come back and say, this is a guy who uniquely turns out to be a Republican, very much a Democrat, which is kind of a nice mix for.
But inflation is no doubt causing issues for the president, his approval ratings where they are right now. And you and I have been having the transitory debate for a year and a half now.
Well, I mean, what's that transitory mean short?
Yeah, kind of. I think it was summer of 2020 is when we started to really discuss it in earnest.
Well, I mean,
and here we are.
Working people are doing better.
They are.
What type of fuckery are they talking about, bro? This shit is so fucking stupid. They talking about he stopped the gas prices from going up a little bit. Like, who the fuck do they think they talking to, bro? This nigga Jerome Powell was put into office by Donald Trump. You know, he's a Republican, quote unquote, chairman of the Federal Reserve. But after reading what I just read, you know, they make it seem like these people aren't investing in the economy themselves. They just want to focus on the policy, like the policy version of it, and manipulating the current version of it. But at the end of the day, I feel like it would be better if we got somebody else. I don't give a fuck who it is. I really don't. I just feel like that shit should be current. I feel like it should be a nonstop rotating door, like full of people who actually aren't invested in the fucking economy, and actually they just want to help people. You feel me? Help businesses, help people, but help people, help property, but mostly help people though. I'm gonna just end it off with this. Biden said, as I've said before, we can't just return to where we were before the pandemic. We need to build our economy back better. I'm confident that Chair Powell and Dr. Branner Okay? Focus. Focus. Come on, man. Focus on it. Focus, man. Brainerd's focus on keeping inflation low, prices stable, and delivering full employment will make our economy stronger than ever before. Wow. Like, that's obvious, but that's not going to happen for one. And then on top of that, we keep saying full employment. Bruh, stop that shit, bruh. Stop that shit. Y'all still on this employment shit. Y'all still on that employment shit, bro. That's how y'all want to keep the economy stable. With employment. Even though just because you got a job don't mean you can keep your head above water. Even if you have 7 jobs, don't mean you can keep your head above water and not end up dying. But with that being said, you know, I don't even know what to say, bro. This has been Matrix Shit News Network. And